What's up, everybody? Mark, put your phone away, and welcome to episode 270 of the Chumpcast. Mark decided that the best time to watch the trailers that I sent him
Right now.
was right fucking now. Right now.
As he was exploding your toilet, as I recall you complaining about.
Happy Sunday, Brick. How are you?
Fantastic. I could be better. I could be watching football, but we're here.
There is a 0%
doing a
chance that
review.
there's not football on one of your screens right now.
There's not. I'm going full attention because I don't have much attention to give away. Let's go.
We always give each other our full attention every single episode.
All day.
So which
How are
one
you
of
guys?
you... well, first of all, Mark, you were traveling this week.
Mm-hmm.
What was your trip to Dallas like? Did you meet JFK?
It was Nashville,
Okay.
but no, I didn't meet JFK in Nashville. That was my first time to Nashville. Pretty cool. Did Broadway Street. I think that's the main strip there of bars or whatever you want to call it. A lot of good music, as to be expected.
Live. Yep.
I feel like we were at bars from like 4 o'clock till midnight almost, and even listening to the bands at like 4 o'clock, you're like, Jesus, these guys are amazing. But as the night progresses,
They get
they get better and better.
Yeah. How many of those people, though, just like don't ever get a shot that are incredible musicians?
Yeah.
That sucks.
There was one guy just ripping the harmonica. I was just like, how do you even do that?
Is there a market for
start.
that anymore?
I don't think so, but
Yeah, I
there
don't think
should
so
be,
either.
because when this guy, he just like pulled it out mid-song and he just started shredding on the harmonica.
The only time I care about a harmonica is if Jack Black has it.
Yeah. We were at the Kid Rock bar. It's like
Oh.
it's like 6 stories.
Do you remember? This was a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago by now. The story of the guy who was there who wouldn't leave,
Really?
and he had a colostomy bag and he just took it off and he started swinging it around in that bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did hear that about that story.
Yeah, so
Nightmare.
I probably wasn't going to go to a Kid Rock bar anytime soon anyways, but
It's literally 5 levels. You could get away with sleeping there overnight. If you hid yourself or just put yourself in a corner, nobody
no,
would notice.
Zero chance, because the rats would kill you.
And
The rats and the meth heads would get you 100%.
of course, the bands have to play a Kid Rock song. I feel like even
Like,
even
is that
if you-
all they play?
No.
Okay.
They were playing a bunch of like Joe Crocker, and they played everything. Britney Spears, Hit Me One More Time, but you have to play a Kid Rock song. And this guy kind of looked like Kid Rock's son.
Doesn't everybody in Nashville kind of look a little bit like Kid Rock's
He had these
son?
like bootleg jeans on. He's just like, my name is Kid.
I do like the Vanderbilt campus down there. That's a good
Yeah.
time. Did you crush like frozen boozy drinks?
No, it was mainly just beer.
Hmm.
Bush Light in a bottle.
God,
Classy
talk
man.
dirty to me.
Just classy all around.
All right, which one of you assholes is going to ask me about Aaron Rodgers?
I was not. Why would you
Yeah,
care
I was
about
over
Aaron
it.
Rodgers and his personal choices on wanting to get the vaccine or not?
Being immunized.
Everyone has been blowing up my phone all fucking week, you included.
I have not said anything to you about it.
You've been posting memes and shit. Just
I
like
have not
everybody else.
posted anything about it.
I just no. It's incredibly fucking stupid.
Are you surprised though? Like,
Kinda.
Are you? Okay.
Don't you? Well, I guess I shouldn't. I thought that he was more intelligent,
Well,
and honestly, I think he just thinks with his dick.
Joe Rogan's a persuasive guy. All right. So if you want to bro up
Yeah,
with
if you're
Joe Rogan,
16.
you're just maybe Aaron Rodgers thinks he's 16.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers has always been a weirdo, and that's fine. I don't care what he thinks about anything. Throw football good. Throw football good. That's it. I don't care.
Okay.
And I do think he's a moron.
It's all right.
But I think it would also be disingenuous for me to defend somebody that.
He plays for Green Bay. It fits well. That's all I'm going to say.
All
Brick, you got any takes on this?
I have 0 takes on Aaron Rodgers. I don't care.
You don't care at all?
Who cares about him? He's not like
What do
Tom
I care?
Brady or
He's-
anything. So why would
He's
I
not-
care?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. He's not
I would be
playing
pissed if
the
somebody I
Bears.
worked with did something like that.
He's not Tom Brady.
Said
He'll
you
never
were-
be Tom Brady. So next.
All right. Anyways, really thought you guys were gonna. Okay, this is what happens. You guys threw me a curveball. I thought you guys were just gonna shit on me for like 5 minutes.
No. It's all right.
Well, damn it.
He can make it. He's a grown man.
Now I don't have any
think.
content.
right. Well, let's get on to
What else
trailers, I
is
guess.
new?
The ones I just watched. They're fresh in my brain.
I didn't even have the switchboard pulled up because I didn't. All right, we'll just do trailers. Mark, which one is freshest in your mind?
Let's talk about the Boba Fett one.
Okay, the Book of Boba Fett coming the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that you have some thoughts on seeing Boba Fett back with Fennec Shand.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you guys a question. This takes place right after the ending of season 2 of Mandalorian, right?
Correct.
We're not like going back in time or anything.
Correct. So Jabba the Hutt is
It's
dead.
dead on Tatooine.
And now there's a power vacuum, and Boba Fett is going to go try to fill that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a cool concept. I just don't know. Do you think they're going to incorporate Mandalorian at some point in it?
I think it'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, I like his character a lot. We haven't gotten enough of Boba Fett yet. He was in a couple scenes in season 2.
2 episodes.
Okay.
He was. I mean, it was the perfect way for Disney to come in, not overshare, and get everybody with nostalgia super jacked up to come watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody new introducing them to Boba Fett, they're marketing geniuses. I don't know what else to say about it.
How did he escape the Sarlacc pit?
With a jetpack, I guess. Look, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying this is obviously a character that they tried to kill originally.
This might be a good character for the draft.
As soon as what? Oh, okay, yeah.
It could.
Yeah,
be.
not bad.
That's actually a good idea. They make a bazillion clones of him.
Okay, yeah, I like it, but
It was Smithers' #1 pick. He's like, God damn it.
no, it wasn't actually. He wasn't even on my list. But if you think about it, as soon as Disney bought the property, and actually before that too, because they made some comic books where he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as Disney bought the property, they were like, "Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
fucking
coming
care
back."
about you." People recognize him. They recognize his ship. Print money, and he does.
People like Brick love him. Brick, what do
Yeah.
you think about this?
Yes. I mean, it's back to Star Wars. I'm just kind of over Star Wars in general. It's just, but the Mandalorian, if they can intertwine the Mandalorian in this concept and Boba Fett, that's the only avenue that I'm going to be watching these Star Wars shows is the Mandalorian and Boba Fett involved.
I do really like the whole Western vibe, though.
Mm-hmm.
And if they keep that up, where this is kind of I don't know, mafia style, but in a different setting, I'm in for that. There are good
Mafia
actors.
Space what?
Marvel obviously throws a ton of money at this, so
And they're only going to keep throwing more money.
mhm.
Would you say this is the most successful property besides when they release movies every year or so that Star Wars has? Because otherwise, it's like the Bad Batch. You got some animated stuff going on, but what else would they be bringing in money from a Star Wars standpoint? Nothing, right? Besides just like
merchandising.
merch.
Yeah, re-releasing shit, and yeah, absolute video games.
Do you think they're ever going
Baby
to
Yoda
spin this
killed
into a
it, or-
movie?
We'll see. Rick, what was that?
I could see them intertwining the Boba Fett series and the Mandalorian series into a movie where they have to team up or something. They would definitely figure out a way to transition from TV show to blockbuster, which we can get into later about Disney as well, because we're doing Eternals.
I guess we'll see about that. Okay, how about Moonfall?
Didn't we see a teaser for this or
We
something?
did,
Okay.
but now we know who the big bad in this is. So originally we just
The
thought
moon.
that the moon was falling to Earth.
Isn't that the big
You
bad?
didn't watch this trailer, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I watched half of it.
It was very apparent based on your response there. So, Brick, I will just talk to you about this.
Are you upset at me for turning this on and then being like, nope, I saw the teaser. I
No,
thought I
because-
knew what it was
because
about.
you didn't turn it off because you didn't like it. You turned it off because you were out of time.
Whatever.
Okay.
That was one he was watching. He was like, I'm just going to wipe instead. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Be obliterated.
I'll just wing it. Like everything I do.
All right, Brick. The moon is falling to Earth because of some weird fart cloud thing. Halle Berry is there and Samuel Tarly.
I like it. Samuel's going from the past to the way in the future. I like it. But I like the concept of it's just 2012, but instead of just the world ending because the Mayans said so, it's just like, the moon's just going to fucking crash into it. And then they kind of fly into the moon like it's a moon secret base. So I could get behind some sort of conspiracy theory, lizard people type thing if they wanted to go crazy with it.
I like
I like
that.
the CGI.
conspiracy theory angle. And it is hollow moon. That is an actual conspiracy. Like, some people believe that the Earth and the moon are hollow because they're dumb. But yeah.
I'm
And
more of a
Halle
cheese
Berry is
theory
back.
guy.
So, and
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson from
Patrick
Watchmen.
Wilson.
The Conjuring.
Okay. The
and
owl.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of who that guy was. Got it.
When when I saw Patrick Wilson, the first thing I thought of was like Patrick Warburton, who does like Kronk from Kronk from Emperor's New Groove and Putty from Seinfeld.
Absolutely.
For some reason I was like, okay, I'm immediately into this, and then all it was Patrick Wilson. I was like, all right, I'm still into it, but yeah.
All right, I'm going all out of order on you bitches here, but
Do it.
Uh-oh.
what are we ever going to get a release date for Stranger Things? Or are they just going to keep giving us 1-minute teaser trailers where they lead you down a path that doesn't end up going anywhere?
They're
think
just doing things like,
wow.
hey, we're still here. Don't forget about us. Here's a little thing, but we're not going to reveal too much because they know how big their franchise is and they have such a big following that once it comes back, it's going to explode.
Dude, these kids are going to start losing their hair soon.
I
They're
know,
getting
they are
older.
There was a script read for the first season, what's his name? Dustin? Is that his name?
The Toothless?
Toothless, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. That
Oh,
guy,
that was
that
mean.
kid.
I'm sorry. He doesn't deserve that.
No, he has good teeth. All right.
Gatton Matarazzo
Yes,
is his name. I'm sorry. I apologize.
He looked 5 years old when they were doing the script read, and now, yes, they're definitely at the end of puberty, or at least going through puberty.
Yeah. And
If they can de-age Will Smith, they can de-age these kids, with
do you think they want to, though? I think that
No.
my prediction is they try to pan this off to other characters who are younger and just kind of keep the legacy going.
You think so? I have a feeling they're going to do one more season after this
No.
and call it quits.
No, it makes
I
too
think
much
so
money.
too.
I bet they'll make this until they're like 30 and having their own kids.
Maybe a spin-off, but from a Stranger Things title standpoint, I think they're going to end it.
I guess we'll see.
I think they're going to do like the Demogorgons. Like we're going to get some origin on how the Upside Down happened.
I would watch a wacky buddy comedy starring Demogorgons.
Okay.
That's
Might
what
work.
I want. Swan Song. Brick, as with all Apple things, I'm going to you first. I don't know what to make of this. It's Mahershala Ali, Glenn Close is in there, Naomi Harris. Mahershala Ali is terminally ill, so he clones himself, but he can't tell his wife, and it's a whole thing. This doesn't look good.
Well, it seems
It
like
doesn't
he
look
didn't
bad.
really know about the cloning until the doctor's like, here, come over here and let us show you. Because he seemed pretty surprised when he walked in the room and there was a clone of himself sitting there.
No, because she says something to him. Glenn Close says something to him that's
Was it like we have another option or something?
something that alluded to him
Yeah.
being a clone, yes.
Okay.
Brick thoughts.
So for this, it looks like it's going to get heavy. Mahershala Ali looks awesome in it, to be honest. And he's playing two different roles, kind of, and I just like looks super heavy. And I'm like, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good, and it's gonna be a well written story, and Mahershala is gonna kill it. And Glenn Close, obviously, is going to be. I laughed when I saw Glenn Close. I was like, Glenn Close, that motherfucker.
That's my
ABC's
favorite
produced.
malaprop of all time.
I mean, with
Yeah.
the situation of Alec Baldwin, they might have to make a spin-off with Glenn Close because he's most likely not coming back into the scene anytime soon.
I know that everything that happened there is awful.
Yeah.
There are some really terrible, really funny memes about it. And it makes me feel bad inside, but I still understand that it's funny.
Did you see the video of somebody Photoshop? It wasn't even a Photoshop. It was like they made it so he was holding a gun during an interview and he was saying like, I cannot talk to you because there's a live investigation. And then all this, like, it looked like he had an AR in his hand the whole time and he was just shooting it. Like, people are brutal. They have no remorse.
That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that levity gets you through things. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. I don't think that.
I think there's another way to look at it.
I just told you
It
that
might
I
be
feel
a little
guilty about laughing.
It might be
about it.
too soon, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think.
There's a lot of comedies that literally joke about that. Like, remember the Jive Turkey scene in Semi Pro?
Yes.
And and like the this is the end where Jonah Hill's like bang bang, bang bang, and just like flaring the gun around.
We didn't even talk about this. That would have been like 2 episodes ago when that shit broke. I'm dumbfounded that they still fucking use guns with. I mean, well, it's a blank,
they're
but
blanks, but they're
it can
still
be a live
dangerous.
round. Yes,
People forget that's how Brandon Lee. That's how Bruce Lee's son died on the set of The Crow.
Dude, you can send the guys from Fast and Furious into space and make it look like they're floating in a car,
but you still got to fire blanks.
You cannot CGI a gun and the gun effects into a movie. It just makes no sense. And
if you can go back to E.T. and Photoshop out their guns and give them walkie-talkies instead.
Is that what they did?
Yes.
Really?
Then you can you can absolutely Photoshop something in after the fact.
I'm just blown away by that, and
it's terrible.
I think that's going to be the case. All of these actors are using this to. Well, The Rock came out and said that I'm not going to partake in any movie now that is using like an actual gun on set, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it?
If more actors do that,
I feel like, I mean, given that this has happened in the past, this is still more high profile.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know. I think that the times are just more sensitive now. So yeah, I would be shocked if we don't see some sort of change in this.
Then just a situation. I mean, it would have been terrible if it happened to anyone, but from what it seems like, these people that have gone on, done interviews and said how great of a person she was a cinematographer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Alec Baldwin. I was like,
no,
I thought everybody fucking hated Alec Baldwin.
I mean, I know what happened 10 years ago during his divorce settlement of him on the yelling at his daughter who was like 8. Do you remember that? Let's not talk about that.
It's hard to watch because look, this is important. This is just like the Aaron Rodgers thing. You separate art from artist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to like you as a person to appreciate the things that you've done.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's just tragic because it seemed like that cinematographer, everyone said how great of a person she was.
It's horrible.
And she had, a child? I think she had a daughter or something. It sucks.
Awful shit.
It's crazy, though. They still use guns. Move on, though.
Great.
We'll move on.
In that case, I will let you take this over since you are the Jared Leto expert / fart sniffer. Morbius. This does not instill confidence in me.
I think it's because it's Jared Leto. Morbius looks pretty cool at the end, though.
I thought the CGI in this was terrible.
You thought so?
The
Morbius face at the end that they showed?
It wouldn't be the first time that in a trailer you see CGI that's not fully completed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully allowing for the fact that they could fix everything before this goes live and hits theaters.
Yeah.
But it looked bad.
Okay.
I didn't think it looked terrible. You are a clear Jared Leto hater. I'm on the fence about it.
Hand up.
So
you're admitted.
Yeah, purest biased of all time. The CG looks bad. I see too much Jared Leto. Anyway, I thought it looked pretty good. I was like, well, this is a cool, interesting concept. I want to see this new character. They're tying it in with Venom, even though that was supposed to be. I didn't see Venom yet, so I didn't see the extra credit scene. But spoiler alert! Apparently, it was Morbius. Anyway.
I got it spoiled for me, so you all can go fuck yourselves.
You think they're gonna tie in anything from the Sony universe or the Marvel universe?
They had Michael Keaton in it. You didn't watch this fucking trailer either, did you?
I remember that. I know they had the poster of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man poster in it. They were throwing in a couple things. I did forget about the Keaton thing.
Yeah, I'm all for more Michael Keaton at any point in time. I don't know that you're gonna get full-on Spider-Man. I think they'll save that for Venom because they need that. That's like their fail-safe for, man, this series is getting tired. We better throw some Spider-Man in there and zest that shit back up.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be cool if they actually incorporated they do all these anti-heroes building up in the city of New York, and then all of a sudden that's when they introduce Spider-Man into this grand collaboration of characters, because Spider-Man brings them all together. If they could somehow weave a story that combines all these interesting characters from anti-hero perspectives and then somehow introduce Spider-Man into it, I'm here for it.
I saw Tyrese Gibson in there and Matt Smith. I guess they're in the Marvel universe now. That's fine.
Now we can get Fast and Furious into the Marvel universe here.
I'm surprised. Well, let's see. Who are we still missing? I guess we'll never get The Rock now, but whatever. Anyways,
Hold on. One thing about this. Did you see? Speaking of Jared Leto, did you see David Ayer come out on? I think it was Twitter because I don't see it on Instagram. He was the guy that did the original Suicide.
Sure.
Oh no, it was.
that's David. Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna say
David Ayer did the first Suicide Squad movie,
So he
and he thinks he deserves to have the
An Ayer cut. He's not letting it die. He's back. He's back on. He posted on some social media. I saw the photo, and the caption of the photo was something along the lines of like, "You guys haven't seen anything yet" or something. And it was just Jared Leto as the Joker, and I think
Man, he's not going to let that go, is he?
everyone's tagging Ayer cut right now.
Ugh.
It's not the
Gross.
same situation though. It's
No,
not like
it's not even close.
it's like the studio was just like wrap that shit up, Ayer, and then didn't he? I mean, he was part of the editing Well, he was still part of the movie up until the end, right?
Yeah.
So
he
I
directed it all the way through.
I don't understand
He just
why.
wasn't happy with what was finally released. And look, that's a thing that's been going on forever. I mean, Blade Runner still has like 7 different cuts, and nobody knows which one is the best or whatever. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways,
That's enough of that. Yeah, Ayer's got to stop with that shit.
he needs to stop with a lot of shit. But, we got a few news bits here. Mark, do you want to talk about how we are officially resigning from ever speaking of pop culture ever again, based on a YouTube comment that we got?
Oh, that guy. Well, okay. Here's what happened. And when I read his comment, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I did fuck that up because you had to get up and fix something with the audio, and I wasn't really ready to do the synopsis. So in that episode, I was like, yeah, this is a movie directed by Zack Snyder. I just thought Zack Snyder because it's a spinoff of Army of the Dead. He didn't direct it. It was the main character, right? The guy was.
Did he? I actually didn't know
Zack
that.
Snyder didn't direct
I don't
that
remember.
either,
I've already
yeah.
pushed it out of my brain.
Which makes absolute sense because it was a good movie. So it now makes sense thinking about it. And I made that comment to this kid. But essentially what happened is we got a comment from a guy in India who was obviously a huge Snyder fan. And it was a too long didn't read type of comment that I didn't read the whole thing, but he was kind of pissed off. Well, he was pissed off that I said that Zack Snyder directed it and that I made no mention of the sequel or other spinoff he's doing that's the animated film. And then we started talking about like what we would like to see in this universe, and we were talking about other origins and stuff. And then he went on to say like, "Well, you guys know nothing. You should really start to look into research and
drop everything you're doing.
know exactly what's going on in Zack Snyder's life, pretty much." But he was also mad that we didn't mention what is it, the Planet of the Dead, which is another spinoff Zack Snyder is doing. So this guy was really butthurt that I said Zack Snyder directed this movie when he didn't, which in hindsight absolutely makes sense because it was a good movie.
You know what I don't care about though?
Shame.
I don't-
Shame.
I don't care about any of that.
I don't.
I don't any of it. I don't care.
The last thing I'm going to do is look deep into a movie that I thought maybe Snyder did or didn't do.
Well, it's funny because I do have a Zack Snyder quote here on Planet of the Dead.
Oh, well, hold on. Sorry to cut you off. But the main thing he was saying he was pissed off about was I think we had mentioned earlier in that episode that people in Hollywood are shitty.
Yeah.
Usually true.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said something about Zack Snyder.
I said he's
and
a
we're like,
douchebag.
yeah, we're like, he might be shitty, but we didn't say for sure like, oh, he's the shittiest guy in the world. But this guy was like, people have come out and just, you don't know anything about this guy. Like, he's a great person. And I'm like, okay, man, I'm glad you met him.
Is that a burner account?
I don't know.
What is with people now caping for these Hollywood famous people that you'll never meet? They'll never be your friends. You just like their work so much that you'll defend them to the end of the earth. What the fuck happened?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways.
Everyone knows Zack Snyder like he just fucking came to their Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry, Brick. I cut you off like 3 times there.
I wasn't saying anything. I don't care at all.
Perfect. Anyways, I have a quote from Zack Snyder here on Planet of the Dead. He says, First of all, I know exactly what I want to see in the sequel. We're doing the animated series, which will come out next year. Very much delves in deeply into the why of the zombie apocalypse and where they came from exactly. Here's the money quote, though. I think the time loops, portals, doorways to other realms, and things of that nature are very much in play.
Oh my God, no way.
So of all the clues that Dieter gives us are very much a part of how we continue to spiral out of the Army of the Dead universe. He's going to try and turn this into like some kind of mythology thing.
I'm straight.
He's a douchebag.
I'm okay.
He's probably not a douche. I don't care if he's a douchebag or not.
I'm sure he actually is an okay guy. I haven't heard anything disgusting about him yet.
No, and that's not even what I meant when I said that. I think I was talking about how every character has to be like, oh, it was the hacker character that was also a world famous DJ who only plays her own music.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a douchebag thing to write. That's a douchebag thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
He did the screenplay. I'm probably wrong about this, and that guy's going to come back in the comments. Can't wait to see you, man.
Actually, I'm sure he'll probably never come to our page again. I don't care. Anyway.
In comics, Misexplained came in and he's like, that was just a copy pasta. Like, this kid for sure is in this huge Snyder group where they're like, if anyone ever talks bad about Zack Snyder,
go shit on him.
This is what you say, and just copy and paste it in the comments. Boom. Gal Gadot in 2009, after shooting blah, 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 came out and said that Zack Snyder came over to deliver her son some Easter eggs during Easter. In those Easter eggs were a bunch of chocolate-covered raisins. But not only were they raisins, they were also covered in gold, giving Gal Gadot excess money to a ready fortune.
And golden poops.
All right, I'm done.
That was good. That was a good improv. I like that. But yeah, this is a good clip for the Instagram, isn't it? We can just shit on this guy the whole time.
This guy's gonna come back pissed.
I don't care.
He's gonna wake up. He's gonna wake up in the morning, which is like midnight our time, and I'm just gonna see a comment come up,
and it's gonna be this long.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, do we care about this? Zack Snyder's just gonna go pull out all the stops. Fuck reality. Let's just go ballistic.
That's okay. We're still gonna watch it. So
I will, Brick, because you got goodwill built up, especially from Army of Thieves. I thought that was excellent movie. Mm-hmm. That's like a top 5 movie
Zack
this
Snyder.
year. Yeah, that's not. It's not, but it's his universe, and I believe actually he did help write it. So
yeah, he did screenplay and probably wrote it and all
Okay.
that stuff. Yeah.
the new Spider-Man movie is rumored to be almost 160 minutes long. Fuck that.
It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
That is the second longest Marvel movie to only Endgame.
What Eternals was like 2 hours 43 minutes.
It was
though.
long as fuck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be. But yeah, they need to stop with
Nah.
this.
Nah, I think this is fine because we have enough stock built up into Spider-Man that we need some shit explained, and we need it to be long. Like you need to go into it expecting it's going to be like they're unlocking all of these different Spider-Mans, and they need to kind of tie that together. That's fine. I think, for example, the Eternals, they're introducing all these new characters, and they have all this. They extend the movie, but they should have just made like a series or something because there's so many people that they need to explain. There's so many new people that you need to meet. And it's like Spider-Man has already built up the credibility where I'm like, ooh, it's long. I'm into it. I already know what they're kind of doing because everybody spreads everything. Fuck yeah, give me all the Spider-Man. Spider-Man's dope as hell.
Eternals was 3 minutes shy. If it's really 2 hours 40 minutes on the dot, Eternals was 2 hours 37 minutes.
Yeah, this one's 2 minutes longer.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Just getting by.
prepare for that. How long do movies have to start being on average before they just do an intermission? Wouldn't it make sense for theaters too, because it gets people out into the lobby to say like go
Buying
spend more
snacks.
money?
Yeah.
I bet we'll
That's
see
not a
that
bad
sometime
idea.
in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They really missed the mark there then with Lord of the Rings. Those movies were pretty long, right?
yes.
Were they long? They were
And
longer
they broke
than
them
2.5
into
hours.
parts
Yeah.
still. Yeah. All right, how about this? Giant Freaking Robot, which apparently is a website that I've never heard of, but they're alleging that a spinoff of Chris Pratt's Super Mario movie, so Donkey Kong is going to be voiced in that by Seth Rogen, and they are alleging that Illumination is making a Donkey Kong movie with Seth Rogen as the titular character.
Who is Diddy?
Jay Marichal. Did you ever see Man versus... Fuck.
This is what
Man
happens
versus
when you don't
Fuck,
have your
haven't heard of
computer.
it.
No, it's Jay Marichal. That's his name. He's been in like Knocked Up. He's been in This Is the End. Like he runs with that crew, and he's like a skinny dork. And I think that's he's got kind of the younger person voice. That's who I would pick.
I think I would actually choose Michael Cera for that role because he also has that awkward. He could have like an awkward younger brother relationship to Donkey Kong, Seth Rogen, and they've been in the same circles, but they haven't done a movie together that I kind of would see that getting good and goofy.
None of this matters because they're going to give it to like Timothy Chalamet or Finn Wolfhard or one of the other 4 kid actors that's currently working. But I
don't know. It's live. It's not live action, so it's like.
Is it going to be CGI or just regular like 2D animation?
I would think CGI. I mean, it's Illumination. They do like Minions and
okay.
So I would think it's in that style.
Gotcha.
Do we care about this though?
No, this could be really bad.
Is this going to be like If it's like Donkey Kong Country, and you got like, what is Cranky Kong? Cranky Kong's got to be Danny DeVito, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Cranky Kong, Dixie Kong. Who's the cool Kong?
The surfer guy.
Yeah, what the hell's his name?
I don't remember.
I not know this. Funky Kong.
Funky Kong. That's definitely Keanu.
Funky Kong. Okay.
Do you think they're going to overuse the laugh from
Cheech
Rogan?
and Chong, whatever.
Yes.
One of those guys.
Just going to be throwing barrels, hitting whatever, and
I don't think
that
he
could
has
get-
the right voice. Do you think he just does his regular voice, or do you think
I don't think he has the right voice for.
I don't
Donkey
think he can
Kong.
do like
No.
impersonations. I think he has to be just himself.
Wasn't he Pumbaa? In
Yeah, but he was just himself.
Yeah, he was just himself.
He just talked in his normal
You
voice.
think he's going to change that? You
Hell
think
no.
he's just not going to be himself?
He has a very notable voice. Why would he change that? I think that's kind of the selling point. But, all right. Kind of along those lines, a little bit of a tangent. Chris Pratt is going to be your Garfield in an upcoming animated movie. What happened? Why is Chris Pratt all of a sudden just the leading voice in Hollywood?
Why are we still getting Garfield movies, like live action ones?
Because somebody, honestly, I can probably answer that because somebody owns the rights to it, and in order to retain those rights, you have to keep making new properties. Otherwise, those rights probably revert back to the original owner.
Ooh, Breckin Meyer was in the 2004.
Do you remember when Bill Murray was Garfield?
Ooh, Jennifer Love Hewitt, childhood hottie. Dude.
So this is like we're definitely we live in a simulation.
Yeah.
This is the most simulation thing of all time, and whoever's writing this simulation is just fucking lazy. They're just like, throw Chris Pratt at everything. Give me that voice. He doesn't even have that good of a voice.
He's a likable guy that everybody seems to like because he takes on these funny, wonky roles. And Chris Pratt's doing it because he's just be able to doing voiceovers and not having to
From his
actually
house.
do any.
Getting
Exactly.
millions of dollars, yes.
He was
doing
really
like,
good
why
in
would you not
Onward,
be
though.
Super Mario.
But he did his own.
He was great
You
in
can't.
Onward.
His character in Onward. You can't. He just did his normal voice, like what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You can't do that for Garfield. You've got to be like monotonous.
He's like
dry,
slower,
slow.
And dry. Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, but also Super Mario might be a more signature voice than Garfield.
Oh, he's Super Mario too, right?
Yeah,
like, Joe
that's my
Wow,
point. Is
that
like
he's
all of
getting
this
everything.
is just we live in a simulation.
I'm just waiting for the Calvin and Hobbes animated movie that they're going to hopefully do one day.
Chris Pratt is definitely going to voice Hobbs.
Yeah, I could see
Who's
that.
Calvin?
They're going to do that one
fine.
day, don't you think?
I
don't
wonder what Bill Watterson, like his estate, thinks of that because they've never done any animation
Yeah.
or anything like that. It's always just been a comic.
And all the rights are still under him, right?
I believe so, although I think he might be dead.
Okay.
Anyways, let's do our recommendations.
Here's some money. Go see a Star Wars.
Gentlemen, the day has come. Forza 5 is out if you have early access, which I do because I wanted it. It's incredible.
Oh, fuck. I guess. Oh, wait, never mind. Not early access. I thought you were talking about EA access.
Nope, this
It's
is
an
not
EA
EA.
game, right?
This is Take 10. Nope, Playground. Anyways, the graphics are gorgeous. It's just building on everything that Forza Horizon 4 was. Obviously, you guys know what a car dork I am, so that matters a whole lot. I just got in, and I've had it since Friday. It comes out on Game Pass on Tuesday. Brick, you probably ought to play it just because it's free.
If it's free, then yes, I will play it and I will download it and tell me this. Is it like Need for Speed, kind of?
I mean, there are like objectives. It's not just you go from race to race. It's open world. You can collect things like in GTA, like when you're killing all the pigeons and shit. Like there's stuff like that. There's individual races. There's upgrades. There's speed traps, jumps and
It's
shit
Need
like
for
that.
Speed.
Like they do the
It's
typical
Need for
Need
Speed.
for Speed style stuff. It's not like Gran Turismo where the only thing you do is just like tune your car
I hated that game.
to the like infinitesimal degree and try and get an extra
Right.
tenth of a second out of it. It's not like that.
No. Good. Okay.
So there's like a story involved and all that. Look, I love the game. I don't know what else to say about it. I've got my wheel set up. I am genuinely curious, and I can't ask you guys because you're assholes, but like if anybody would actually sit down and watch me streaming that and just talking about cars and why stuff works and how it works and what is good and what isn't, I truly don't know if anybody would watch that.
You got to just post it in the Cars channel on Discord.
For the two people that actually pay attention there.
Right. If it's free on Game Pass and I have Game Pass, I'll definitely play it.
Tuesday. Comes out Tuesday.
Stream it. Okay.
All right, Brick, what's yours?
The Harder They Fall, the movie on Netflix.
That's good.
Stars Zazie Beetz, Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Damon Wayans Jr. They have Lakeith Stanfield, Regina King. They have a ton of names, and
Regina King is.
It takes place. It's just a Western on Netflix that came out. An outlaw discovers his enemy is being released from prison. He reunites his gang to seek revenge in this Western. And they stay true to a lot of Western tropes, which is what I like about it. But they also added like the score behind it, the costume design, everything about it was really well done. And I was like captivated the whole time. This was definitely something you just like kind of blast your speakers to. My floor was rumbling when they were riding by with horses. Like it's fun. It's a good experience. Great actor, great core. Great settings too. Everything was very well done.
Did you say it had a good soundtrack?
Yes, both soundtrack and score. Everything about it.
Okay.
I'm very excited to watch this. I love all of those actors, and I think it's going to be incredible.
Is the soundtrack more like modern, like up to date songs, or they go back and play some old stuff?
No, it's definitely more up to date, modern.
Okay.
That's what makes it cool. Is like it's very like Westerns are usually like very dry. Like you see like the desert and like these Western dust towns and stuff like that. They did a good job of like with the settings and creating such like color around it. Like they made everything just kind of pop on the screen more, and it just like added an extra element of like the setting was a character in itself. The Western, they had that play a role very well throughout the movie, and it's just like I loved it.
I think I might love Westerns. I never really thought about that until just now, but like, do you remember Ballad of Buster Scruggs on Netflix? I really like that.
Yeah.
I love Mandalorian. I'm really looking forward to this. I think maybe Westerns are going to make a comeback.
Westworld, you were all about that shit.
I definitely was.
Got out of Westerns, and then you didn't
Season
like it
1 and
anymore.
2.
So that's a big tell, actually.
Mark, what do you recommend?
I'll say the Long Halloween Part 2 because I did mention Part 1, I think, a couple episodes ago. So they did a animated movie based on the Jeff Loeb and why am I forgetting the artist? Whatever.
That wasn't Tim Lee, was it? Jim Lee?
No, it wasn't Jim Lee. Oh, wow. How don't I know this? Whatever. But yeah, this is a very notable, well-known Batman series that was it kind of changed what a Batman story could be. Like this is probably in the top 3 of if you were to ask somebody that's big into Batman comics what their favorite comic is. Guarantee you Long Halloween is up there. But they did an animated movie, part 1 and part 2, just finished part 2, wrapped it up. Thought it was really good. So go check that out. Not surprising, DC Animated always does good stuff.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Batman Ninja was weird.
Yes, that was weird. There's a couple questionable. I think one of the Suicide Squads was pretty questionable too, but usually they're pretty good.
I also wanted to mention just briefly, I'm stupidly doing it. I am trying to get into Succession. I'm like 5 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
I hate everybody. They're all terrible. The way that they shoot it is annoying because it's just handheld cameras the entire time and random zoom ins.
Yeah.
And just like shaking all over. It makes me a little bit sick.
You're a fly on the wall. I haven't noticed that. That's funny. Okay.
But yeah, I'm giving it a shot. I'm going to try and stick with it at least through season 1. Like, is there a point where you were like, yes, I'm in?
Mm-hmm.
Is it coming?
End of it.
It's one of those shows where the last episode you're just like, fuck.
I hate that.
And yes,
they do the same thing in season 2, and it's brilliant, and you love it. And you're
if
just
you
like,
don't want to watch season 2 after finishing the last episode of season 1, then just don't go into season 2 thinking that it's going to change really.
Okay.
But it just progresses from shit just keeps getting more and more fucked up.
That's
and
good
they
advice.
Keep backstabbing each other and yeah.
Okay.
It's Game of Thrones for business, like the business media world, where everyone's trying to climb and fight the ladder to try and get to the very top, and then you're just like, everybody is a piece of shit. Fuck everybody.
This just makes me think of Billions, though. And in Billions, like the business didn't make sense.
Succession's better than Billions. Succession's better than Billions.
I thought Billions was just recycling the same shit over and over again. There would be a couple episodes where he was trying to steer away from getting caught by the SEC for something, and then
weird Paul Giamatti would come out, and some girl wearing 6-inch heels would step on his back and pee on him, and I was grossed out.
You would think he's in the clear, and then all of a sudden something else happened. They just kept recycling shit in Billions. It will just keep progressing to the point where the stakes are higher, and if something comes out on this family, it's really going to shake things up.
All right.
It's just, I agree. It's just kind of takes it. You're in a wild ride in behind the scenes of how this corporate fucking media company is going to kind of shift into the future, which is kind of interesting to see how they go about it.
I just hate all of them so much.
That's the point. You hate everybody.
Like the one who you think is the biggest douchebag in the beginning is Ken.
Yeah.
And he's the only one where I'm like, okay, he's kind of being rational.
Yeah. He's trying to better himself, but he's a
douchebag.
He's a dick too.
He's a huge douchebag.
He'll throw anybody into the fire if he
I bet he hangs out with Zack Snyder.
Maybe.
But he's like a self-aware douchebag where he knows he's a douchebag. You know what I mean? He's just
the
like,
way they intro him though, when he walks in and he's like, "Sup, dude," and he's like in this suit and dressed to the nines and trying to buy this guy's. It was, anyways.
I think Kieran Culkin is
cringe.
He's gross.
He is. Yes, he's just like he's such a pushover, but he's not like. He doesn't want to be seen as a pushover because he's such an asshole, and he's just very blunt and outright with telling a person to fuck off. But at the end of the day, like, he can just be manipulated.
He's crafty.
Yeah. And whatever his older siblings want from him.
He does some Olympic level gaslighting.
Yes.
So, yeah. I'll give him that. But anyways, let's move on. I should mention I have a kid that's asleep right now. And should he wake up, I will need to attend to that. But boys, it's draft time.
Here we go.
All right. Can you set this up while I piss?
Please.
Background.
I think Mark won the last draft, confirmed by Mark.
I can't believe that. People.
Yeah, I think he tried to throw this and he still won.
I can't believe it. That was it's unacceptable.
Katniss
Honestly.
Everdeen as your leader, and you win the heist draft. Are you shitting me? The girl
Robbing
who
a
doesn't
bank.
know what a bank is.
Oh my god, she used a bow and arrow. Like, you can barely take a camera out with a bow and arrow. honestly.
My leader could go through people's dreams, but Katniss Everdeen wins.
I had memory wipe alien technology that I could rob any bank and be like, yo, forget this. Nope. Just walk in and out.
I don't think you could just like hold it up to a security camera though and like wipe everybody's mind who had been watching it.
You just delete the camera footage.
Well, okay, but then okay, Mark is coming. He wants to comment on why he won, and the answer is burner accounts.
Absolutely, burner accounts.
At the end of the day, I was not 100% with my leader and my muscle choice. Like I could see why people went against that, but I do think I had the better driver and the better hacker, or a hacker that at least people recognize more. Like Elliot from
He's
Mr.
known
Robot.
for only being a hacker. Yes,
He's a very recognized hacker.
My driver was better than yours. It's just I don't think enough people saw Baby Driver. Or no, I didn't pick Baby Driver. I picked Memphis Reigns.
Yeah,
I think maybe our demographic is a little too young to have seen Gone in 60 Seconds.
and you just throw Jason Bourne, and somebody's like, okay, yeah, I mean,
and somebody's like, Jesus,
he'll be good
Christ.
on a heist team.
Okay. Anyways, this week we are drafting characters who definitely should be dead, which is perfect. It's very apropos. I have some Busch Lights here if you need one.
Oh, you got the whole case next to you?
Yeah, they're still cold. It's fine.
Goddamn,
I don't have a problem. Shut up. I went to the doctor this week. I'm perfectly healthy.
Good.
They ran my blood and everything. I lost weight. I lost like 15 pounds. I didn't even know it, which is probably not healthy,
so
right?
To hear.
The Busch
It's
Light
not healthy
diet.
because now you're going to just drink more and be like,
Yes,
oh,
correct.
yeah,
I'll be like, my metabolism's ramping up.
I'm good now.
Yeah, anyways, draft. People who should definitely be dead, which is perfect because I'm probably on that list. I should have died a long time ago, I think. We don't really have
all surprised you made
specific
that
rules on this. We kind of were just like go nuts, which I think is probably a better premise.
Yeah.
When you try to get really specific with it, you eliminate creativity and you start arguments that don't need to happen.
Yeah.
But if we just do stupid shit, it's perfect.
I kind of brought in different ways to think about this. I was like, at first I was like, okay, people that don't die. So I started thinking long-term, like TV series and multiple movies. But then I started thinking like scenes where somebody just didn't die. That is like a really recognizable, notable scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was even starting to think of like playing video games. Like, how did this person last through this whole?
I'm
series
playing
of video
Teenage
games?
Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I found a pizza on the ground, and now I have full health again.
Or just scenes where people just cheat death in general.
So I think the score currently, Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think Brick and I have won 3, and you've won 2.
I think you're up. I think Brick and I are tied now. I don't know.
Okay.
I think you're still.
We'll check
up.
in on that.
Yeah, it's either that or Brick and I are tied, and you're up.
Okay. Well, congrats on your win last week. So you're gonna pick the order, and since this is your first non-consecutive win, you can go first if you want to. But it's up to you. I cede the floor.
That's not. I don't think that's what we agreed to. I think it's if you win the prior week, you cannot go first. You just have to pick the order for the next week.
No, we said if you win 2 in a
No,
row.
yeah, no, I think it's just you can't choose yourself to go first if you with 2 in a row.
All right, that's fine.
That seems more fair. No, that's Smithers. You're right with that one.
I'm gonna go Smithers first, Brick second. I'll go third.
Okay.
I think you guys probably know. So I toyed with the idea of just going ridiculous on this and not really giving a shit. Yeah, you know what? I'm going for it. Brick, this'll.
I know. I already know who it is.
No, you don't.
Fuck, I know. Close your ears. Brick. Oh, I don't want to say it because hold on. I don't want to say it because I think Brick, you might pick it. Is it somebody from Game of Thrones, Brick?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Fair enough.
It doesn't matter. I'm picking Homer Simpson.
All right.
He literally fell down a gorge, and then they dragged him out via helicopter, and he fell down the gorge again. He should be dead a billion times over. He's been shot. He's had heart attacks, triple bypasses. He's had organ transplants. He's fallen out of helicopters. He's everything. Everything should have killed that man by now, but he's so stupid that he continues to survive. As I point to you, Brick, it's your pick.
What about Barney? Barney is just drunk all the time. His liver should have failed when he was
So
20.
Barney has sobered up before.
Has he? What episode was that? And what season, Smithers?
Well, there are a few instances.
Funny you ask.
Did you know that he was sober during the Homer Goes to Space episode? And
Didn't.
the only reason that Homer actually gets to go to space is that he sneaks booze into Barney, because Barney, when he's sober, is actually a genius, an idiot savant, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And he was crushing Homer in all these competitions because it was mano-y-mano for like the average Joe astronaut. I'm going to stop talking because you probably stopped listening to me about 30 seconds
I'm listening
ago.
to you. I'm thinking about how depressing it is as a character. Like, you're a genius, but you can't control your drinking.
Man, can't relate to that.
That's very depressing.
Who's next?
Brick.
I am. Robin Swallows from Austin Powers. She gets she tries to kill Austin Powers, and she gets shot, she gets bazookaed, she falls off a building, she still stays alive. You'll know what I'm talking about if you see the clip.
All right. That's
Glorious.
a good one.
Oh,
That's
she
an
gets also
interesting
stabbed in the
choice.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting choice.
I need to have specifically on the picture itself, I need the picture of her burnt face falling down the building
Sure.
and Austin Powers.
Whatever you want, buddy.
I thought of
Over on
that the
top
other
of her.
day too, because I put
Yep.
together these posts. If there are specific photos you guys want that aren't like the worst quality in the world, I'll use them. But I think I've been doing a pretty good job at picking decent photos.
My kid is waking up.
Fuck.
I
All right.
will say you could have easily done the Will Smith memory wipe picture, but you chose like an alien weapon. I didn't complain because I know you're just doing your thing, but I felt like could have easily. That was the one weapon I actually talked about. Could have helped with the pictures, but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not complaining,
Anyways, Mark,
and I'll send
me
you
too.
pictures.
All right, I'm gonna go Jon Snow from Game of Thrones because he literally has been brought back from the dead. He also is being at like medieval times or whatever you want to call those times. I could never imagine even surviving for more than 16 years of my
I mean,
life.
how about
Just-
Battle of the Bastards?
Yeah, when he is being suffocated by hundreds of people on top of him, I think Jon Snow is. He's got to be my number one.
I would
pick.
definitely argue that he's not the worst offender from Game of Thrones, but sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's your second?
There's a lot of arguments to be had about the Game of Thrones character that stayed alive the most that shouldn't have. But God,
I'm going to kind of spin Brick's number one pick because I think this is an even better pick from Austin Powers, and that's Mustafa.
Obviously, that's what I was thinking.
Will Ferrell's character in Austin
it
Powers.
was on my
who-
list.
I'm very badly burned, but still alive. I think from
You shot me.
scene-wise, people.
You shot me right in the eye.
It's
I
it's a
definitely
more
went-
memorable character.
I went to that one first before I went to Brick. So yeah.
If there's Austin Power fans, Brick, I'm sorry. I think mine would be chosen over yours.
We pick a lot of Austin Powers references, don't
yeah.
we? It's very telling of our time.
Austin Powers glorious.
It's only because Krisky
Yeah,
listens,
but-
and we're just trying to get Krisky's vote.
Interesting.
I think true Austin Powers fans would recognize that Robin Swallows.
I
Should
definitely
have been
recognize it. It's just
more than
not.
Mustafa.
It's not as memorable to me as Mustafa as Will Ferrell. You shot me.
Yeah,
All right.
Mustafa. I was gonna go. I was hoping to get him on the turnaround. To be honest,
All right.
Just all Brick,
Yeah.
you would do all
Brick,
Austin Powers
Brick just
characters.
picks whoever was in the last movie that he watched.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your second pick, Brick?
which is always Austin Powers. Red from Pineapple Express.
Okay.
He first of all he fights Seth Rogen and James Franco, and when he's like in the bathroom, gets the door kicked in on him, he literally gets $1 Million Baby neck broken as fuck. He gets
$1 Million
shot by the
Baby. Never
goons
heard
later.
that turn into a verb before.
Yeah, so he gets shot. He's laying there like left for dead for days. Dale Denton comes back. He decides to drive his Daewoo car
His Daewoo
into
Lanos.
a person, into a pole. So there you go.
See, this is the kind of
And
knowledge
then
you can get
after
from
that, he
me
gets
streaming
shot.
Forza.
Exactly, sick. Then he gets shot with all these different other machine guns so he gets killed again. Then the whole marijuana plant explodes, and then Red comes crawling out, and he's just like, there's no better scene than when Red Dale Denton and Saul are all at the breakfast table at the morning after, and they're just like recapping the night, high as balls, and just like Red's like dozing off, like dying, but like still alive. He's not sure if he's just high as balls or just like dying. I love that.
All right. I have 2 picks now. I need a ruling from the committee on this.
Oh God.
It's a twofer, but I can just pick one. They are to me.
No, you're gonna pick one of mine.
To me, it's the same characters.
Hold on. No, I think I know who you're gonna pick. You have to pick one. No. Go ahead. Just pick because you have to pick one. I think I know.
No, it's gonna be
Harry and Marv.
Yes.
Okay.
Pick one, and then we can argue.
Harry.
Fuck. All right, just have that one.
All right, Harry and Marv.
I don't even want Marv.
Fuck off. My other one, I'm gonna go with Sarah Connor from the Terminator franchise.
Okay.
There have been about 1 billion times where she should have just been eviscerated by a literal assassin robot from the future. And she's still coming back. She's like 60 now. She smokes. She could have been killed by emphysema or lung cancer. She is invincible.
Okay.
So, Brick, it's back to you.
This man just can't catch a break. Always buys from Acme. Big mistake. Wile E. Coyote. This guy, I've never seen this man fall off of so many canyons in my entire life. There's one GIF where he straight up cuts the bridge, like he walks across the bridge, and the canyon falls. The man just can't catch a break. It's great.
It's true.
He should be dead as fuck.
All right, Mark, I believe you have your last 2.
All right, I'm gonna do Tyrese from Fast and Furious.
Fast 9.
Yeah,
F9.
specifically. Sure.
I don't. That's kind of. It's cheap because he directly references it.
I know. But when you do think back,
according to the rules, it's totally fine.
but
It's good.
he directly
cheap.
references it
That's
in the
brilliant.
9th
I
movie.
didn't
It's
even
not like
think
he
of
does
it.
it every movie. You just start to realize like, holy shit, he does survive everything
Truly does.
and get really lucky.
Yeah.
All
All right, your last one.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna say Michael Myers. I'm gonna say Michael Myers.
I mean, it's like that's like saying
is that cheap? Should we because you could say like Jason because
it's fine.
they're
It's
slasher.
I like it.
it's just
Okay.
like you know why he's still alive
Why is he still
because
alive?
he's demonically possessed. He's just like a corpse.
No, that's Jason.
They're,
Right?
It's the same fucking thing.
Michael Myers
all of them
isn't
are the
possessed.
same thing. They're
He's just a normal dude that's just really bloodthirsty.
You just saw the latest Halloween. You just saw Halloween Kills. You think he's normal. He's just a normal dude.
All right. I mean, should I pick my other
No,
one?
fuck you. That's yours. Brick, last pick.
Sure.
I am so torn between this last pick. I'm not sure who I want to go with here. Do you want to go first? I'll let you pick first if
No.
you want, because
Just
you
fucking
sure?
pick one.
'Cause
You're gonna have to pick anyways.
I know. I have.
The only thing that does is
Damn,
give
man.
him the opportunity. What you think
Yeah.
he's gonna maybe pick one of the ones that
I
you're
promise
thinking?
you I'm not going to pick whatever you're about to pick.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with Mr. Magoo. That guy nearsighted always dodges death. I feel like on accident all the time. He probably should be dead for how old and how often he's just like too blind to realize what the hell is going on and not die.
It goes back to my Inspector Gadget.
Well, yeah, I picked Mr. Magoo. I actually thought of Mr. Magoo Brick, but I didn't pick him because I was like, I just couldn't pick a character in 2 drafts like that. I don't know.
Right,
It just
yeah,
didn't
no.
seem right to me.
That's
But
fair
that's
enough.
fine. It makes sense. That one makes sense. Probably your best one. That's not saying much.
I
though.
see your smart ass look. All right, my final pick is going to be Charlie Day from Always Sunny.
Okay.
Just
a good
always
one.
huffing noxious things and doing really stupid, unsanitary things. Yeah, he would definitely have like some weird form of hepatitis that just formed in him.
Okay.
So that's my final
Definitely.
pick.
All right. Notable mentions.
Notable mentions, and I wanted to do this so badly. I just didn't think anybody would get it, and I'm in it to win it. So my last pick was about to be the shitty neighbor kid who is probably named Mark when you're playing cops and robbers and you shoot him and you clearly fucking shot him. But he's like, "Nuh-uh, you missed me. You missed me." So you shoot him again. But he's like, "No, I've got a shield. I got a force field. You can't shoot me. Your gun's stupid."
Yeah.
And he's like the kid who is a little bit chubby but wears like a Nike shirt that says like beast mode on it. And he's constantly sticky for no apparent reason. Yeah. No apparent reason. And he wears Crocs all the time. And I hope this isn't too specific.
What kind of ice cream does he get from the ice cream trucks?
He gets the SpongeBob one, but he complains about what the SpongeBob one looks like.
What a bitch.
I thought you would do Itchy and Scratchy.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that. But Homer's like more, I guess, his Q rating is higher.
I thought of Ellen Ripley from Aliens.
I thought of that one too.
Because she always comes out of those movies. Well, she came out of the first. She sacrificed herself in the third one, but then they actually brought her back as a clone in Alien Resurrection. So does that count as her not being dead, even though it's a clone of her?
Maybe.
That was what I was torn between. I'm like, should I go the Michael Myers? But yeah, he just doesn't.
I mean, I can just rip some of these off. Sterling Archer, Dom Toretto.
Yeah,
John
anyone
Wick.
from Fast and Furious.
I think that Arya Stark was a better choice from Game of Thrones than Jon Snow was.
Really? I just thought of him actually getting resurrected. Like he did die, but he came back to life.
Nope. Fucking Tyrion Lannister. Are you
That's
shitting
a good
me?
one too.
He like went to battle. He's a dwarf to begin with. He should have been killed in the first season when he gets trampled by all the troops, and then he goes and fights at the Blackwater Bay and gets almost killed there.
Well,
and
we
then
here at the Chumpcast are definitely not anti-dwarf. The views expressed by Brick are bricks and bricks alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's just what they refer to him as in the show.
Why didn't you pick that? Because that was better than all your picks, Brick.
Then he almost gets stoned, and then he almost gets killed by going to Khaleesi to begin with. And Cersei, the trial. Oh my God, he was everywhere. He should have been murdered. That was a good one. I should have actually probably picked that one. So the other ones I had were anyone in the MCU because the multiverse.
Yep.
And Frank Gallagher, just because
that's kind of like my Charlie Day pick.
But I didn't want to pick Frank Gallagher because I got shit on for last time for picking Frank Gallagher. Even though the All Franks draft did win, I didn't want to go double Gallagher. Gallagher's aggressive.
It was so good for like 2 seasons, and then it was just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Also, Batman literally had his spine broken in half by Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
I didn't want to pick a superhero.
I didn't either.
I thought that was more of a cop-out than a slasher. And I picked a slasher.
Harry Potter should have died a billion times.
Dumbledore? How about Gandalf? Aren't there like...
They both died.
He did die.
Did Gandalf die? I don't fucking remember.
Dumbledore and... Yeah, they both died. Brick, this one was for you.
Kenny from South Park, but I felt like he died...
He died so much.
Die a lot.
Yeah.
I know. And then, but he does come back. He did die for like a long period of time at one time. And they...
Brick, this one was for you. Bruce Arians. How is that man still alive?
Yeah, that red face and the stress that he has. I don't know. It's pretty impressive.
That fucking man.
Last question, then let's move on. Is he up?
He's like really 30.
He's chilling.
Okay.
It's fine for now.
If you had to pick Harry or Marv, who do you think gets it worse?
Harry.
Like, who do you think should have died? Harry?
Harry.
Is there a specific moment, like the flamethrower to the head?
No, because that just like burns your hair. Like, I've had that happen.
But if it's on your... Well, yeah, he sticks it in whatever. Okay. He avoids his head just lighting on fire.
I think they both should have died.
Yeah.
No question. Like
the
the amount of
video that
concussions that they would have had, like you definitely would have died.
This would have actually split your head wide open.
You would be bleeding from your brain, yes. Anyways.
Okay, quick challenge. Homer Simpson's your pick.
Worst.
The worst. She's the worst person in the world. Huge skank, terrible, but thank you.
Go ahead, Brick. What were you going to say?
Okay. First of all, I don't have one. Second of all, here's my question. Smithers, Homer's your first pick. Itchy and Scratchy's your second pick. Please, who would be your third and fourth for Simpson characters that should be dead?
Barney.
But aren't?
Barney should be up there.
Abe Simpson.
Okay. Just because he's old as shit.
He's old and he does stupid shit. He was in World War II. I mean, he's an idiot. And honestly, Maggie. Maggie is the baby who just stumbles through everything, but they always do a cutaway to her, like, almost getting chopped in half by a bandsaw or something. And it's,
What about the twins, the older smokers?
Patty and Selma. Yeah, they
Yeah.
would definitely have emphysema.
Yeah.
Patty and Selma Bouvier,
Gotcha.
in case you were curious. Literally the only reason why I brought Best Man into it, I figured we would either do, going forward, we either do a draft or a Best Man. Not both. It's a lot of prep. Plus, it makes the show
I'm
long.
liking drafts more. Just
I am too, but sometimes there's only going to be two of us. And
yeah. In that case, yes, we'll probably just do a best man.
Agreed. But
That actually makes a lot of sense. And if only someone came up with that idea to do drafts like, I don't know, 3 years ago, that'd have been cool.
man, we would have brought that guy into the show and probably paid him, to be honest.
It's kind of weird that when I
That'd have been
brought it
smart.
up, we all got serious though. Says a lot. Though,
Anyways,
Rick.
Brick, if I say the words pole assassin to you, does that mean anything?
Pole assassin?
Pole assassin.
Donatello. But no.
No, not correct. It's actually a stripper. And this has been in the news this week because on Halloween, Pole Assassin, who is a stripper who incorporates a monkey into her act, that monkey attacked a child on Halloween this week, or last week.
Oh, bummer.
It is a bummer, but this story is absolute proof that we live in a simulation because just like fact is so much stranger than fiction. And so the story of Pole Assassin is that the Texas special teams coach, the University of Texas, he left his family and he left his wife and kids to go marry this stripper named Pole Assassin. By the way, you can just Google Pole Assassin. Some of her routines are out there. She is very talented.
She's the real deal.
She is strong as fuck. But this man left his family to go live with Pole Assassin, got married. They have this palatial estate in Texas with monkeys in the back.
It just happens to be a palatial estate.
I see you. You are a dad, so that is okay. Okay. Yeah, anyways, Brick, I thought since this was college football adjacent, you would understand. But this is a wild fucking story. And
No
if
pun
you
intended for-
if you haven't read about it, I
wasn't as good.
recommend that you do because it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Apparently, so Pole Assassin claims that there is a sign on the fence that says "Do not enter, danger monkeys." But also, it was Halloween, and somebody would probably look at that and be like, "We're
No.
in Texas. You don't have a monkey,
Yeah.
you
Stop
dick."
fucking with me.
Yeah.
These are some weird Halloween Halloween decorations.
It's more tempting than
Beware
anything.
of monkey.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
like if I see a sign
absolutely.
that says "Beware monkey," I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what's up with this monkey?
Where the fuck the monkey at?
Let's go hang out with this monkey."
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go with this monkey.
I mean, the monkey's not over by
Every
the fence.
time
I feel like it'd be over here. We can just go in. Just get a fucking die.
Right.
Wait,
if we
did
go
someone
in, we see a
die?
monkey. So what's the situation? What's the bad situation? You know?
The kid was attacked. I believe they're gonna be okay. I will feel terrible if they aren't. But yeah, I think it should be okay. Anyways, let's move on to our movie review.
I got one.
Oh, really?
Very, very quick.
I am very surprised.
It was a news headline that I read. This is going to be the most unfortunate man alive. And supposedly a guy was getting attacked by bees and jumped in a lake
I fucking saw this.
or
It's
whatever. A river with piranhas and died, I
This
think.
is in Brazil. That is
not
the
for real.
unluckiest man on the face of the planet.
Fucking bees and then piranhas?
It's not just that. Bees?
Yeah.
It's not just that. It's that he was running from bees with his like 3 or 4 other friends, and they all got away fine. But he's the one who got eaten by piranhas.
Well,
What kind of
he's the one that
shitty
jumped
short
in,
straw?
obviously.
They all did.
Oh, they did?
They all did, and the rest of them swam to shore. And this dude had his face eaten off, literally by piranhas.
I feel like piranhas swim concentrated. Like they swim in a concentrated group.
Couldn't tell
Is that
you.
wrong? I don't know.
I don't know.
So maybe he jumped right into like the piranha team.
That is a very unlucky son of a bitch.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now it's time for our
We gotta
movie
hurry
review.
this
I have a
Max
best
is
man.
gonna
Nope,
get-
I have one more. I have one more. I have one more.
Oh, I do not want to do the synopsis for this, so we gotta go, Brick. What's up? Go ahead.
So I had a good spite play by this person. So this guy posts on TikTok a lot, and it's just like an older, fatter, bald gentleman. And this TikToker was like saying that this guy's too ugly to be like TikToking this frequently because it's always on our
Dick
For You
move.
page. Rude, absolutely. So he looked up like where like the person who said it. Turns out she works at like a salon like an hour away. So he booked an asshole waxing with her specifically. So now she has to wax his butthole. So I thought that was a pretty funny spite play to drive an hour to get your butthole waxed by this
Ooh.
person who trolled you just to be a dick.
Do you think
To
he's gonna like
endure that.
go? He's just gonna have Chipotle for like a week and not shower
Oh my
before he
God.
goes.
Imagine if he just had all ingrown hairs when they started coming back.
I don't want to talk about this anymore because I might.
How
bark.
long do you think it takes for butt hair
Okay.
to grow back,
I
like
can't,
butthole hair?
Sorry, I can't think about
A couple
this.
months, weeks,
Movie
days?
review, right? That fart sound, speaking of, means that it's our movie review. This week, Marvel's Eternals.
All right.
It's a movie that is directed by Chloe Zhao, Oscar winner Chloe Zhao, I should say. 48% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but 84% from fans.
Talk about the fans rating.
Putting it firmly into popcorn flick territory.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing some of the visuals, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this was if somebody dared Marvel to make a DC movie, and Marvel succeeded because they've succeeded whatever the fuck they want
Make
to.
the closest thing to a DC movie.
Yes, that's how I felt about this movie.
I mean, it is Kirby. Jack Kirby,
That's true.
creator
That's
of the
true.
Eternals.
That's
He created Darkseid Brick. So this guy left Marvel, went to work for DC, made a couple characters there. He actually left Marvel because they were taking credit for characters he was just not coming to an agreement.
Yeah,
Probably with Stan Lee, who just gets the credit for every single character.
exactly.
Ooh,
Anyways, though, the plot of this.
Wouldn't it be tragic if that happened and all of a sudden they, instead of Marvel continuing on with their multiverse, they just kind of transitioned to multiverse with DC, and then all of a sudden all the Marvel movies just start to turn bad like DC movies? Oh,
Hey guys,
that'd
we're
be a
gonna
nightmare.
suck now.
Just black and white, super
Yeah.
slow-mo.
They tried really hard, like with the villains and everything. Anyways,
We got Batman.
the plot
This
of
is
this.
such a
All right,
transition
so
to DC. Ugh.
the 10 Eternals have been on planet Earth for thousands of years, sent here at the behest of a Celestial, who basically just we'll get into that later.
It's a giant alien.
They are instructed to never interfere with humankind, but to kind of slowly help them along and defend them from outside threats, like the deviants, which we see a few of. They're just basically giant looking animals. This is the worst CGI I've ever seen in a Marvel movie, by the way. And that goes all the way back to like 2000. This is not good.
I could see that.
But yeah, there's 10 different ones, and it's really spreading your time across to give a backstory on all of them. Obviously, you get more deep into some than others, but with that, I'm going to kick this over to Mark for your high-level thoughts. I need you to talk, and then Brick, you go, so that I can make a spoiler warning that I can throw on the screen when you're done. So, Mark, please.
Okay, high-level thoughts. The first hour of this movie was a snooze fest. I went into this knowing nothing about the characters. I will be very honest with you. I've never read any of the comic books, and I frankly didn't really look up anything to know what these characters were about. I just knew they were from a long time ago and that they lived on Earth protecting everyone for ages and ages and have been a part of medieval times and going back to whenever. So this cast looked amazing. But after watching this first hour, I was just thinking to myself, okay, this writing is pretty terrible. And the delivery, in my opinion, of all these characters, everyone just seemed so bland, so boring. But yet their powers were so different, yet they were all very much the same in that they were just extremely boring, in my opinion. However, after maybe an hour and a half into the movie, which is essentially only about halfway, little over, it started to pick up, I will admit. I started to get more into it. Man, it's just, thank God, because this was pretty bad in the beginning, in my opinion. And I've seen people online saying this is one of their favorite Marvel movies. Yes, that is, I have seen people say that. And I just have to think like, dude, what am I missing here? What the hell am I missing? Overall, I'm going to say save it. I would have said see it if I did walk out of the theater an hour in, or I would have said skip it if I walked out of the theater an hour in. I thought visually this looked great, which I wasn't surprised. I did think I began to gain a little bit more interest for all these characters as the movie progressed. But I just wasn't in love with the writing in general. The Celestial thing was pretty neat and interesting to see. Yeah, it was weird, but that's Jack Kirby for you. I mean, that's what those comic books were. And if they made these characters look like how they looked in the comic books, you'd be like, what the fuck is
They
this?
did that with Arrows.
Yeah.
Spoiler, but
Kumail was great though. I thought
he didn't even get to be shirtless. He did all that and didn't even get to do a shirt off scene.
in comparison to
How shitty is that?
in comparison to everyone else, and how freaking, oh my god, dude. Thinking about this, I'm just like, is this gonna rank in anybody's top 10 Marvel characters of live action movies? Like, I can't think of one character in this where I'm like, oh my god, that's so badass.
Marvel hipsters who were like, I liked the Eternals before they were a movie.
I don't know. Everything was just so boring.
I honestly, it wasn't funny. I'm sorry. I asked Brick to give us his thoughts. Please, Brick, go ahead.
It wanted to be funny. There was moments that it was almost funny, but it wasn't quite like, that's actually funny. It wasn't quite like that. It was just like, I see what they were trying to do there, you know? Overall, it just was like Eternals meeting real folklore. So I did like the history behind it because they went to all these different events, like Mesopotamia, the start of civilization in itself. And then they went and played Time by Pink Floyd. I thought that was creative and fun. That I was like, ooh, I kind of got pumped when they played that. I didn't know much about the Gupta, but when they went to like the Spanish invading the Aztecs and like that whole like absolute massacre and them kind of dealing and like having to see their help and their creation kind of fighting and just slaughtering each other just for senseless, I guess, power, just kind of them coming to terms to that was in it. They wanted to make that like character development, but it was just like too short of a span. And I felt like they took too many characters and jammed them into one movie and then just kind of are pushing the plot a lot. I think they should have took their time with it and evolved these characters because of that, none of the characters seem to be cool or enjoyable or like, oh, that guy was awesome. There's no one really stood out. Is what
they just seem so lame.
They're boners.
There was no character where I was like, oh damn, I'd love to see more of them. They all just seemed the same to me.
I will get more into this in spoilers.
And I blame that on the writing though, mainly. I just think the writing was so bad where like the delivery was just
It was bad. I didn't love the acting. I didn't think anybody really was a standout. Kumail was probably the best, and I also like the guy who played Fastos.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty good.
He was the only well, he didn't mean to be the levity, but
that's
the situations he was in, like the ending when he was in his home, that was kind of funny.
Kumail is an actual comedian.
Yeah.
And they didn't even give him really funny lines. They used Karun, his driver, as his levity.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. At a certain very important point in the movie, he just disappears entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck is happening here? That was very much like some kind of... If it was anybody else, I'd be like, oh, he was just shooting on a different movie. But I don't feel like Kumail is that level of actor.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they just completely like write him out. It's fucking stupid. But
that was bad. That was bad. That was very questionable too. They're just like over it. It didn't make sense. His whole character arc at the very end there.
What also didn't make sense to me is like, how were the Deviants finding the Eternals everywhere they went? They were traveling all over the world, and within hours of landing wherever they were traveling on that private jet, a Deviant would show up.
I have an answer for that, but I can't do it until spoilers.
Okay.
But they had like a speedster who also you have to kind of eliminate from the story. Otherwise, it's your Deus Ex Machina, and it just eliminates the actual threat of any kind of violence against them. It's It just didn't make sense. It wasn't cohesive. I didn't care about any of the characters. I fucking hated Druig. The dumb Barry
Keoghan or
Keoghan?
whatever. Yeah.
I hated him.
Would you call him an Ezra
I called him a
Miller?
broke ass, bowl
Ezra
cut
Miller.
ass Ezra Miller.
He should have been the speedster.
I think honestly they might have cast him as that, and they were like, "Wait a second, this just looks like Barry Allen. We can't fucking do that." He's not a good actor, and I hated his character. He was a douchebag. That's what I got. I texted you because you texted me. You went to see like an hour after I did. You're like, "How is it so far?" And I was like, "I hate this fucking kid."
This is gonna ruin you. This is gonna ruin you though. It's Ezra Miller mashed with the brother from Warrior. You know what I'm talking about? Like the teacher.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I think he was in the Green Knight. The Green Knight.
So was Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, he was. What's the name of homeboy from the lead in The Kingsman? Edgerton. Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton.
Nice. I had to get the last name before I get the
for
first name. Anyways, yes. There is you have this great cast in this movie, and you tout them all the way through it, and then you actually show the movie, and the people you want to see are barely there. Mm-hmm. Angelina Jolie, Selma Hayek, Kit Harington. Kit Harington is barely in this fucking movie, and they used him literally just to set up another property, and that really pissed me off. I don't know what else to say about this that isn't a spoiler. I will let you guys wrap this up and give me your ratings before we go into actual spoilers.
Yeah.
Mark?
I'm just going to say save it because I actually did get into it, I'll say, in the last hour and a half of it. It's nowhere near even top 10 for me, Marvel-wise.
This is bottom 5.
Yeah, it's really down there.
Yeah.
Not Captain Marvel. Thor.
I thought Dark World was better than this.
Dark World. Yeah, I don't know.
Brick, what about you?
I am stuck between skip it and save it. I think, honestly, if you have a watching order, the harder they fall, and then see this. Harder they fall is way better. Way better.
Well, pick a rating.
Skip.
All right, then I will say save it. If you were gonna say skip it, I would have said save it, but we gotta like balance that out. It's not so bad you can't watch it. The visuals are still stunning. It's still a Marvel movie. It's well done. The score is actually done by Ramin Djawadi, who did Westworld, and like that's how he got his fame. He does a lot of stuff for HBO. That was pretty good. There's some decent songs in there, like the actual soundtrack. It has ideas. I'm not going to call them good ideas. I think it's incredibly hard to make a movie about 10 people and make you care about all of them.
Yeah. Let's just say the Eternals this movie is not going to make any of the Eternals your 14-year-old daughter or son's favorite Marvel character.
Hey, you don't know that. I mean,
no,
look,
I know that. Like, if you were to bring your kid to this movie, there's no way they would sit still. They'd be like, "Get me the fuck out of here."
It was too long and it was too boring.
Yeah.
Also, where the fuck were the Avengers? Where were the Avengers during all of this?
I know.
Worldwide earthquakes. But yeah, no, they're just not around. All right. I digress.
Giant panther creatures that are just
London.
Like emerging and murdering. Yeah,
in fucking London. Where was Captain Britain? All right. I'm going to transition now so that it says spoilers for Marvel's Eternals. We are going to spoil the fuck out of this. If you have not seen it and you want to, I recommend you pause and come back afterwards. If you don't give a shit, then whatever, keep listening. I am so pissed that we did not get more Kit Harington. Yes. And for them to show him as the Black Knight at the very end and be like, I have beers right here. Wow. And to talk about like the Black Blade and tease him like that and just throw it in there so haphazardly and not even expound on it is so stupid.
Let's talk about the voice.
They couldn't have done it any longer.
The voice that says, "Are you
at the very end?"
Yeah. Are you sure you want to do this? I think
it's Mahershala Ali.
It's Blade.
It's Blade. So the deal with Black Knight is if someone else sheds the blood using his sword, then he's like cursed forever. It's a whole thing. It's kind of a dumb story, but at one point in like the 60s, Black Knight was leading the Avengers. I don't think this is a character that people care about, and if it wasn't Kit Harington, I wouldn't care about it. But they wasted him in this
honorable
movie.
knight. Yeah, he's just the most honorable knight. I just rewatched all of Game of Thrones. He is.
It's a good casting,
perfect-
obviously, though.
It is. Obviously, he can swing a
Get
sword.
the Game of Thrones guy in there and just. Yeah.
I mean, you had the same thing with Richard Madden, and he was just the stereotypical, the archetypical bad Superman, evil Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And the
I
one
just
guy
kept
who actually
thinking-
could have opposed him in the final boss battle, Kumail, just bails, doesn't give a fuck. He easily could have just been a bad guy, and
Yeah.
just said, "Fuck it, let's do this." I had so many problems with the way this was written, and I don't even. I can't possibly go through all of them.
I could be
Somebody
wrong, though.
else.
I think they stuck to the comic storyline, though.
I don't know shit about the comics. I couldn't.
I'm
even
pretty
begin
sure
to.
the I'm pretty sure they were pretty spot on with bringing in the deviants, and then that being what were they calling the emergence, and that caused the Celestials to come in and be like, okay, are they worthy or not? Maybe not, and the Eternals would have to prove that.
So if you're listening to this, I assume that you've heard it or you don't care about it. The Celestial sends the Eternals to Earth to basically guard the planet so that the Celestial seed inside can feed off the life energy of the planet. So you have to grow their population, etc. That's the entire purpose of them being there. They basically just murder a Celestial.
Yes, and I didn't get that at the end either. I didn't know if that had something to do with
I
actually
thought
being
they
part of the
froze.
canon, like with Eternals in the comics. But yeah, they literally kill a Celestial, and it seems super easy to do. So I was kind of confused by that. It didn't really have any motion, like it emerged from the crust of the earth,
Kind of.
and then she killed it.
But the entire
It didn't really do anything to say, oh wow, this thing is pretty dangerous.
the entire deviant storyline was just like a MacGuffin, because even at the very end battle,
Yeah.
nobody cares. Like, I was not watching Angelina Jolie at the end of this fighting that deviant, that sentient deviant, and thinking like, oh man, I'm really invested in whether or not she wins. I didn't give a fuck. They were stupid villains. It was bad CGI. It was not a good character design. The deviants, any of them. It was like a wolf ripoff, but maybe weirder. I don't know.
It was kind of like The Quiet Place.
That, and
Kind
I
of.
felt like a mix between that and The Day After Tomorrow
Yeah.
with Tom Cruise. But
At first, I was like, "Oh, these are
Just like
super
it-
cookie cutter villains," but then I was like, "Okay, well, Jack Kirby actually wrote in these
yeah.
things." You know, I thought they created these for the movie.
It was a skinless animal that just had their muscles showing, and
Yeah.
it was just like kind of gross looking. But I don't know. It just didn't seem like these villains were anything special. And again, they should have made this into an individual series.
this would have been better as a
six-part series
series.
where each
Loki would
person-
have been better as a movie.
Hot take.
Yeah,
might have a
that's
point
fine
there.
with me. Or WandaVision would have been better as a movie too, honestly.
Maybe.
But maybe I don't know, because she was actually fun. Maybe she was fun to kind of do conspiracy theories with. But I do like how they're expanding on the like depth of their villain tree here, because they're at
The
one point they're
cosmic.
dealing with the multiverse, but they're also dealing with like, so now their entire realities are rippling, but also the gravitas of Celestials are so much bigger, and the scope of everything is so much bigger. And then all of a sudden they're going to just introduce in the extra scene
There
Harry
was
Styles, who is just Thanos' bro.
Yeah.
So
Star
how do you?
Fox.
Oh, the guy who was trying to end existence, or maybe he was trying to continue existence because
Yeah, but
he was
Thanos'
limiting
father,
half the
his
population.
siblings, they're all not evil. Like Kronos is not evil. Like, so that's canon. It was weird to see Harry Styles show up though. That was definitely odd.
Well, he was in the credits too. I
Is
wish
Thanos
IMDb
evil?
wouldn't do that anymore. Just tell you, okay, Harry Styles is Star Fox. 2 weeks
I
before
bet
the
there's
movie
some
comes
kind of
out.
like SAG ruling on that, or like where you have to be included in case people look you up. But yeah, it's dumb. How about the fact that they just basically redeemed Sprite after she tried to murder their leader?
I know, it's okay. We get it.
And also she just turns this knife into water and she's fine. Like she's not bleeding internally. How long was she running up that volcano where just nothing happened? She made zero progress. You could have just had the
Also,
speedster
her
run her all the
illusion-
way up there and come right back and nobody would have noticed. It's very dumb.
The illusion of multiple volcanoes, like, oh, now what are you gonna do? It's like clearly it was just like right there, like you know where that volcano is located. It was
No, there's
humongous.
an illusion of a volcano in front of that volcano now.
Right.
You have to go through it.
Brick, do you think it physically pained Kit Harington to say, I love you, Cersei?
If I was trying to get to that earlier, it felt like a fucking alternate multiverse where there's a love triangle between Robb Stark,
And Jon Snow.
fucking Jon Snow, and Cersei.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, they had the
And
first
then
sex
the
scene
last,
in this,
the last
though.
fucking
Didn't need that.
yeah, and then the last.
Yeah.
Turns out my family tree is complicated. Jon Snow, literally, is what he said.
It wasn't enough of a like if you're gonna do a sex scene, the first one in Marvel, come on, you just gotta hit us.
Just
with
show
it.
his balls.
You just gotta
Fuck it, dude. Just show
you
his
gotta
balls.
hit us with the
Just-
balls.
Just balls.
Hit us with the balls.
Just the
That's our new
balls.
tagline for this episode.
Just hit me with some
Eternals and hit us with the balls.
big old saggy balls.
God
Just hit
damn
me
it. I hate
right
it so much.
smack dab in the right cheek.
The most heavy-handed thing I've ever seen in my entire life in a movie was Icarus literally flying himself into the sun.
What a loser! What a loser, dude! Like, come on,
Oh yeah. What-
get over it.
That is
all
so
right?
corny.
Everyone that ever leads a
We're not
good
gonna pay
superhero
you.
team, they usually turn a little bit. Like, get over it.
It
Dude.
wasn't just that. It's like the entire idea
Yeah.
that his name is Icarus, and you were like, I'm going to think of this, and it's going to be so brilliant. Nobody's going to get it, but then eventually they will. Like, it wasn't the most obvious fucking thing to ever happen. Icarus flying into the sun, are you fucking...
so butthurt.
But people think Chloe Zhao's a brilliant mind.
She's a genius.
I haven't seen a
All
movie
right.
of hers that I've liked yet.
She did that movie in the desert where the guy shits in the van and everyone just gave her a bunch of awards for it.
I'm pissed that Kumail
So
didn't get
I
a
will
shirtless
admit,
scene.
first of all, Kumail did look good when he was doing his little dance sequence. His arms looked jacked.
Jacked.
Second of all, I actually didn't even realize the Icarus thing and flew into the sun. I was like, that was the point where it was so long into the movie, I just didn't even care. I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let it slide this time, but that was, for your records, like that was very heavy-handed.
That's not very. Now that you mention it, yeah, I just didn't even care to list. I was looking at my watch, like, kind of want to get some shit done. I saw it at 11:00, 11:30
Brutal.
on a fucking Saturday, and we ended up meeting at like 3. But I purposely went late, and we saw one preview, and then we went to the movie because I knew how long it was going to be.
All right, let's wrap this shit up because my kid is awake. Thanks for tuning in. This has been episode 270.
Mm-hmm.
Do we remember what's next week?
Brick, didn't you know? Maybe not.
I did know, but I don't know now.
It
but I
could
will look
potentially be Brick's recommendation from this week if people are talking about it as much as we think they are. What was the name of that, Brick?
The Harder They Fall on
Harder They Fall.
Netflix.
Could potentially be an option.
Red Notice is actually, it's going to be that The Rock Johnson, Gal Gadot, and
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I think we'll probably see that one.
Pretty stoked for that. I see The Rock is starting to do some press. Excited.
And then we got Ghostbusters after that. Let's go.
I am going to try and stream some Forza. We'll just wait and see if anybody gives a shit.
Oh, dude, whoever loses the draft might have to watch Clifford the Big Red Dog. That's coming out next week.
That's rough.
That would be.
Get it?
That would
No
suck.
pun intended.
Get it?
Wow.
Do you get it?
Dad joke for days.
Mark, you want to order pizza and get drunk all day?
I have to probably do some yard work, but we'll see.
What a piece of shit.
That
All
might
right.
fall through because I'll be drinking.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, thanks. Oh, here's Remy. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to episode 270. You can find us on all social media platforms at the Chumpcast. I need to go get my son, who is awake now. D&D will be wrapping up soon, but not this week because Wubby is out. But we're getting there. We've got like 2 sessions left. And I guess with that, until next time.
There's new merch on our TeePublic store, so go check that out.
Oh, thanks for the heads
tpublic.com/the Chumpcast. I just designed these. Kind of a knockoff of Justin Bieber's little logo he got going for his Drew House clothing company.
Was he at Astro World or?
These look way cooler. He was not at Astro World. He's not about that life anymore. He's probably at church. He should be at
So
church.
he's still alive. Got it.
Yeah, but we got a bunch of clothes up on our TeePublic site, so go check it out. They've had a bunch of sales lately, and that's all I got. So Chumps out, motherfuckers. Peace.